Well, thank you, Craig, the hostess with the mostest. I appreciate and love you very much. Thanks for putting this together. And welcome to another Daily Wisdom. To all my family and all my members with Unlimited Wisdom, thank you very much for jumping on here. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Deborah Grady, Michael, and Angela, Coach Bob, Dustin, Melody, Star, and Lisa Marie. We actually talked about this. Here's my son Matt. Great. I don't know if Hannah and Ezra's there, but when I see them, I always see them as a family unit.
It's
It's
true. We're all one. So
yeah, it's cool. So today I thought of a subject. I want to bring it up to you guys, and it's funny. Me and Matt actually brought this up when we had a discussion today. I always love my I don't know, masterminds with him. Hi, Mary. Thanks for jumping on. And so a lot of you may or may not heard this, but when I heard this concept, it revolutionized and changed everything about me, including the way I thought and reacted with people. So thank you, Scott. And it's basically a concept called 30, 30, 30. And with me, whatever I watch, you always hear, and just to bring it up is that, 30% of people believe like you, 30% of people believe in the exact opposite of you. And there's 30% of the people on the planet that doesn't have a clue what's going on. They don't care. They don't want to know. If you got to them, they wouldn't care, right? And so one of the things that I think is very popular about this is going back to talk about one thing is, again, I get to give, when Mary's on, I get to give her credit for getting me this book, The Greatest Miracle in the World. My mentor got me to read this book by Og Mandino when I first met him. So when I first met him, he said, I would love to work with you. Can you imagine me saying that to you? I would love to work with you. I'd love to build an empire with you. Thanks for getting on, Shelley. But I need to see if you're the right person. So read this book, and when you get done completing this book, give me a call. Because he knew that I had, I'll get right to the point. I had a lot of fucked up beliefs and thoughts. Okay? I had a lot of stinking thinkings. And unfortunately, a majority of it was about myself. Do you guys get this? I was a professional at not believing I was enough, not believing I was worthy, just believing that if everyone in my life abandoned me, there's got to be something wrong with me. So the concept for me was always me against the world. I actually truly believe that I might as well do something negative to you or awful to you, because then when you did it to me, we would be even. That's sort of a bad way to go through life, right? So when I read this book, and then he taught me the 30, 30, 30 afterward, it's like, how do you guys realize the more that you proclaim your uniqueness, the more that you love yourself, the more that you're with authenticity and you know who you are and what you're about, the less you try to convince other people to do anything but just that one thing. So when me and Matt were talking today, I thought, for those of you that have children and grandchildren, imagine this. How many of you guys seen that AI video that Matt made of me, and Jesus comes up and hugs me? How many of you guys have seen that? Okay. Yesterday brought me to tears. Kyle, my youngest son, comes to me and he says, I got you something. And it was a little keychain with a little cross on it, and it had purple wrapped around it. And he handed it to me and he said, some people approached me and they wanted me to donate money and I could take any gift I want. And he says, I wasn't going to do it. But then I seen a cross and it was purple wrapped around it. And he said, I immediately thought of you. So I donated money so I could give this to you. So you guys know some of my beliefs, right? but I've never, ever, ever pushed those beliefs onto my son or my wife. So, how many people do you guys know that have a certain belief, but what they do all day, every day is want to push it upon everyone? See, I know a lot of people that do not have a good relationship with family members. And so recently we've heard it's about politics, right? If you support that person, then you no longer can be a part of my circle. Isn't Matt doing a great job? Give him a hand with all the circle stuff inside of Unlimited Wisdom. See, you no longer can be in the circle of trust. You can't be in there because you don't think like me. So while me and Matt were talking about all kinds of stuff, we talk about everything. But I said this to him, and I want all of you to take this to your heart, because I believe this is one of those things that when you hear it, it resets you to a place where you never can go back. Now, I guess you could forget it and go back. But what if I said to every one of you, you here live, thank you for being here, and those that watch the recording, listen to this. What if you truly believed and acted like no one on this planet is going to believe exactly the way you do? What if you just took that as, yeah, that's part of my proclaiming my uniqueness? That the more I get to love myself, the more I get to understand myself, the more that I become authentic in myself, then with my unique DNA, my unique fingerprints, everything about me is unique. There cannot be another person on the planet that feels and believes and acts like you. So why is this such a big thing for us to try to get other people to believe like us or act like us? Where did this come from? Even Jim being funny yesterday, going, yeah, well, can I create a circle for Georgia football? I know there's two teams that go against each other all the time, so I don't know which one he is. But isn't that interesting? You got those people that have the circle of their alumni of maybe their high school or maybe, you know, their college years or their professional years. But people are like, I've even heard these phrases, you know, what is your favorite football team? It's the Green Bay Packers, and anybody that beats anyone who beats New England. All right. So everyone knows that if you have a favorite team, there is a team that seems to ruin it for them year after year after year after year. So it's like you're for a team until your team gets beat, and then the team that beat your team, now you're for every team to beat them. And I ask you guys to really think this simply. What if that's the way religion is? What if that's the way politics is? So there's a lot of people that I know. It seems to me, I might be wrong with this. It's like the more that people are into sports, it seems like the less they're into politics. Maybe just because they have something else to be excited and focused on. So there seems to be a group of people that just don't care. So now to talk about the 30-30 is it's funny. When I said I was going to cover this idea came to me. We talked masterminding with Matt. And then I thought of, wow, that's a good way to promote this book, your uniqueness. If you did what I shared already, there really isn't any reason to go into the 30, 30, 30. But I'm going to do it anyway. All right. So just know 30, 30, 30, really, for those of you that are geeks, you know what I mean? I'm a geek from the dork forest as well. So we would have to say that it was 33 and a third. So if you cut the pie, right, we all know, the pie, right, is like if you cut the pie into thirds, right? So I just rounded down 30, 30, 30, right? A third, a third, a third. And so one of the things that we could all talk about is, again, understanding that, and I don't know if you guys have noticed this, if you guys watch any news and hear about any polls about anything, do you notice that it's 30, 30, 30, or it's 50, 50, or 49, 51, So, but what they never ever tell you is that there's more people that don't vote than people that do vote. And that's becoming more of the news now than ever, because people go, how can someone that has no experience whatsoever get elected to a position? And with the last presidential election, I think I told all of you this, that I just randomly, this was before the last presidential election, is I just went to AI, because Matt's showing me how to use AI, and I go, can you please tell me who's going to win the next election? And AI came back with this exact statement. The person that will win is the person that gets the most people to show up to vote for them. I'll never forget asking that question and having AI come back and go, that's stupid. The person that gets the most people to vote for them will win. And it's like, I'm going like, duh, it's like the duh factor, right? And what's hilarious about that, Brian, thanks for joining us, is that whatever you're doing, whatever your belief, wherever you're going, there's a larger group of people that disagree with you than agree with you. So even if we were talking about religion, bless you, Deborah. So even if you were talking about religion and you're bold enough to say that I'm a Christian, maybe there's close to 2 billion people. I haven't looked in a while. But so there's more people. What would that be? Like if it's 8 billion, there's 6 billion people that aren't Christians. And I don't think that anyone ever really takes the moment that when they think, well, I'm married. Well, there's more people in the world that are not. I'm a parent. There's more people in the world that are not. I'm a male, female. It's like, there's not too many things that are 50-50, right? And then all of a sudden you got people that go, well, I think there's more genders than two. Wow, that's very interesting. But my whole point again is when you focus on trying to get somebody else to think like you, what if you went in knowing that they never will? Because till this date, when someone asks me if I'm a Christian, my response is, it depends on your definition. What is your definition of a Christian? Well, you have to go to church twice a week. I'm not a Christian. How many of you guys are getting to understand what I'm saying? Because every time someone asks you to fit into a label, do you realize what they're doing is they're judging you? All they're doing is trying to put you in with labels and little boxes. You know what I mean? They're trying to put boxes. How many of you guys have had people and you knew when they asked you this question, they were judging you? Sandy, where'd you graduate from college? Why would someone ask that question? Huh? It's like, I've never asked anybody that question. Because if you went to more than a trade school, I'm not in your circle. I know that you would like me to be in your circle if we talked about income. So if I feel someone's judging me, I usually say that just to see where they're coming from. Is I go, well, did you go to college? Yeah, I went to this college and I got this master's degree. And then I also have this PhD degree. And I go, that's amazing. Do you mind if I ask what you made last year? Oh, I made, 212,000. And I go, that's a month, right? No, that's not a month. Oh my God. How can you live on that? And if they're making money, they sure don't have freedom. Right? It's like all of a sudden it's like, well, I make 200,000 a year. Well, that puts you in the top 10% of people, no, top 5% of people in the United States. So what are you doing Tuesday morning? What do you mean Tuesday morning? What am I doing? Well, what do you do on Tuesday morning? I get my ass up, I should shower and shave, and I get in my car and I drive to work. That's what I do. I don't do that. So instead of putting yourself in a box, why don't you just make yourself more unique? Proclaim your uniqueness. I've never said some of the stuff I'm saying to you guys right now. Can you imagine going up and going, Bob, I don't know if you know much about science, but are you aware that your DNA is not the same as mine? So you believe that your DNA is different than mine. Yeah, that's how we should treat each other. I have never said that ever, ever, ever to anyone. Are you aware enough that your DNA is different than mine? Yeah. How do you know that? Well, I've heard it on television. They caught this guy or caught this lady that killed somebody and they found her DNA and they were able to take it, match it, and find out that it was 99.999999999% that it was her. So I know this is a bold statement. Do you believe in that shit? I do. I do too. So that means that you and I are that many nines different than each other. So what's the possibility of you and I agreeing on everything? Probably zero. Great. Why don't we just start with that? I'm going to respect you for you being you growing up the way you grew up around your environment, your family, your beliefs. And all I'm going to ask you to do is respect me the same way. Because I don't want to get in arguments with you. Like if I walked up to your house and I look at your car and your garage is open and I look in the garage and I go, you're a Ford lover? Fucking really? Because some of you, like my son Matthew, is like, I don't even know why people like vehicles. Matt's like, I got this computer that drives me around, but I don't even know why you guys talk about makes and models of cars. So Matt's like, hey, I can get in a car, not think about it, and it can get me safely to point A to point B. And then there's people like my wife that are sitting in the car while the car is driving itself and going, I have a Tesla that can drive itself, and I'm going to drive the shit out of it. Oh, drive itself? Are you kidding me? The joke all the time is that she said it yesterday, so I don't have to say anything. Is that, she got a little wreck with it, right? She was going too fast and tried to pull into a driveway that had some loose gravel, and the car hit the curb, sort of messed up the rim and stuff, and messed some suspension parts up. And I said to her one time, I was wondering if it was on self-driving, if it would have did that same. Because what got her in trouble was me. She made the decision, but it was me. Because we came around a corner, as soon as we came around a corner, two cars at once, there was this black Mustang with loud exhaust, and he went like that. And I went, are you kidding me? And so the Mustang jumped on it, and Terry jumped on it, left him like he was standing still, and then looked to her right, and that's where we were supposed to be going. So she jumped on it, went past the Mustang, and then seen the corner and tried to make it. Slid into the car. And we were pulling into the Cadillac dealership to pick up the Escalade. But I think, and this is probably not true, but I think is if I didn't say, oh, really? Because the Mustang's revving its exhaust up, I don't think she would have done anything. But it's like, she's like, well, I'll show that Mustang. And it's like, oh, well, that didn't turn out too well. But car's fixed. She's okay. Everyone's okay, right? So going back to this 30-30-30 concept, instead of looking at college teams or football teams or educated versus not educated, looking at the red team versus the blue team, because we found out that there was another thing. How many people did pay attention a little bit to the World Cup? Okay. When the World Cup came to the United States, did you see country against country? Oh, hell yeah. Right? So here's the competitiveness in sports, but then there's this competitiveness. And again, in the science of getting rich, there's a statement in there. And it says, can you imagine, again, I love this phrase, can you imagine coming from a total thought of creativity instead of competitive? Because when you no longer think with a competitive edge, then you just want people's uniqueness to be the best that they can be. So regardless of how they think or how they feel, you just want to encourage them to be the best of that. And so when I brought this up at the beginning, to have Matt do the nice things that he's done for me based on my beliefs, and my wife and my younger son, my older son, it's like people treat me with respect because I think that they feel that back. I believe that people feel the more they get to know me, that they could share anything they wanted to with me. And they're not going to hear, well, if I were you, I wouldn't think that way. If I were you, I think you're stupid for thinking that way. And then I'm also going to high gear and see if I can't convert you. Craig and I have known each other for a long, long, long time. And I'm always asking him questions about his beliefs and what's important to him and how I can help him make that happen. I don't need another Robert Hollis. I want Craig to be the best Craig. What if you guys all went into that? See, that might be pretty difficult for people that might be competitive in a business opportunity world, right? Because how I've won over some of the biggest leaders I know was by helping them be the best they could be in the company they were in. And then when things didn't work out that way, they looked at me as, wow, this guy supported me even when I wasn't in his company. I wonder what it would be like working with them. So how many of you guys think that this was good, right? It's like when I think of the simplicity of, again, you guys know I've always come from this principle, is just how simplistic can I make things? So I keep thinking of ways to be able to do things, because even asking people if they believe in DNA, I could change that to make it easier. So what if I said this question to you? You know, I want you to understand one thing that I believe. And they're like, uh-oh. See, I love putting people in that position. It's like, let me tell you one thing that I believe. Is I believe that my DNA is so unique that you and nobody else in the world has my same DNA. And how many people do you think would go, oh, I believe that? Oh, you do? Yeah. So moving forward, as we build our relationship and our friendship and our fellowship, let's always treat each other that way. And if I go on a tangent, I'm giving you permission to just say, but my DNA is not like yours. That's all I want you to say. So if you feel like I'm getting off on a tangent and I'm making you feel uncomfortable because of something that I'm sharing with you, I give you permission to look at me and smile and go, but my DNA is very unique. And I'll go, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can you find it in your heart to forgive me? I love you. It's like that. I don't know. That part's not for me. That part's not for me. That part's not for me. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this. You know what I mean? Craig, I was thinking of a title, and the title should just be DNA is unique, or maybe just DNA.
That sounds great. We can do the full 30-30 maybe another time.
No, I think I
Or just
covered it in
okay.
here, but
Yep.
because of the sort of mentality of what I want to mentor and teach moving forward, I think that this is better than 30-30-30. I probably will never teach 30-30-30 again,
Understood. So
because if I
your
could just prove,
DNA.
yeah, so your DNA, love it, love it. Because if I can get people to understand their uniqueness, then they'll stop trying to make other people like them. They'll just know that that's impossible. Focus on loving yourself, doing the best that you can. Imagine a better future for yourself and the people that you love. It's still to this day. Don't you guys find it funny? We should all go to the movies. We should all go to the movies. What do you want to go to? Well, I want to go to this thing. I'm never going to that. We're not going to that. You know what I mean? Well, what about this? I think that movie's stupid. I don't like stupid movies. It's like there's things like food and restaurants And there's things like movies where we're just 100% okay. If someone says, I'm sorry, I don't like that kind of food. And we don't go, well, you're going anyway. That would be that. Wouldn't that be a short relationship with somebody? Oh, you think so? You know, how many of you do have that little rebellious part of you? You know what I mean? It's like you could love a food and someone says, you know where we're going? And they could name your favorite restaurant. And you're going, no, we're not. I just think. But yeah, I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for getting on here. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Brian, Shelley, Matthew, Hannah, and Ezra, Star, Melody, Dustin, Mary, Chris, Coach and Bev, Coach Bob and Bev, Michael and Angela, Deborah, Sandy, Chris. Sandy, what's your husband's name?
No, no, Dave.
Dave. It just missed me for a second. So Dave. All right. And hostess with the mostest, CJ and Sue. I love you guys. Have a great, great day. Let's talk to you soon. Bye for now.